good afternoon folks, Ron Bishop here again. Timaru NZ, Ronnie Bishop Timaru NZ. That's my name on YouTube. Just type in Ronnie Bishop Timaru NZ. It's a lovely day in Timaru NZ today. Fantastic Sunday afternoon. I'm going away at the moment to video the history of postage down at our local museum. Ray Bennett's going to be there. He's a historian, and he's going to be showing people around showing people his collection. He's got a big collection. He's a collector of things. One of the things he collects is stamps. Anyway, he's going to be there, and he's talking. Now, a few other things that are happening that you should know about. Next week, on the 12th, that's Thursday the 12th, I will be in Waimate, and I'll be speaking at the Waimate Hotel to the candidates, the Waimate candidates that are standing for local body elections. I'll be speaking to them and their friends. It's going to be a public meeting. First in gets the best seat. On the Sunday, I'm going to be sharing my testimony. I'm a Christian, and I'm going to be sharing how and why I became a Christian, and I'll be doing that in Waimate at the Salvation Army Chapel. That'll be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. On the 18th, which is a Wednesday, I'll be speaking I'm having a motivational seminar for the candidates of the Timaru electoral wards and the health board and that, and I'll be speaking at the Grosvenor Hotel. The Grosvenor Hotel in the conference room there. There's a big room there, and I'll be speaking there, and the public are invited. You'll see the posters all around the town. I'm going to get some posters printed, and it'll be well advertised. Okay? But right now, I'm going to go and meet Ray Bennett, and he's going to tell me all about this postage, the history of postage in New Zealand at the Timaru Museum. So, I'll see you later. Here I am, I'm at the South Canterbury Museum. Explore our heritage. There's an exhibition here today about postage in New Zealand. I thought there'd be lots of people, but no, I got to park right outside the museum. Okay, so let's go and see if there's anybody in there. Here we are in the post. Aspects of early postal history and the birth of the postage stamp. That's the New Zealand Littleton stamp on there. Okay. All the words on there. I need someone to take me around and show me. I see Mr. Ray Bennett's over there. He knows a bit about the stuff. Sure, he'll explain it all to me. Bishops and explorers. Hey, I'm a bishop. Just passing through. Camp and mantle. A lot of stuff in here, isn't there? Yeah, Ray's just busy at the moment with a customer. Yes, here's Ray Bennett. Here he is sitting here with his collection. Born to collect. The items in this exhibition have been loaned from the collections of Ray Bennett. Ray collects to preserve, to study and to enjoy. He began collecting Edison cylinder records at age 5 and the philatelistic items at age 6. Over the years, Ray has developed a wide range of collections and enthusiasms. His interests and searches have led him around the world, resulting in a lifetime of hunting for rare and interesting items. Ray has always been keen to share his knowledge and enthusiasm with others. He has donated many items to the South Canterbury Museum over the years, and he has served as President of the South Canterbury Historical Society since 1970. That's incredible, Ray. Good on you, mate. New Zealand's first stamps. Here, New Zealand's first stamps. Let's have a look at this. New Zealand's first stamps were issued in 1855 with values of 1 penny, 2 pennies and 1 shilling. All featured the same design drawn from the Chalon portrait. The first stamps were printed in London and sent to New Zealand. They were not perforated and were cut out at post offices. An Auckland printer began to print these stamps in 1856, adding a 6-penny stamp in 1858. The government printer took over in 1962, adding a 3-penny stamp, followed by a 4-penny stamp in 1865. New Zealand stamps began to be perforated locally in the end of the 1850s, with all stamps perforated by the printers from 1864. Known today as full grace queens. These distinctive stamps were sold until 1873, when the side face or profile portraits of the Queen were issued. There you are. You didn't know that, did you? Timaru's early post. Mail began to travel between Timaru and Christchurch overland in 1858, with a cost of 2 pence for letters, or half an ounce or less in weight. The stated delivery time was no more than 3 days in summer or 4 in winter, without an unavoidable accident. Occasionally mailbags were lost during their crossings. Mail was sent once a week at first, rising to twice a week in 1862, and then to 3 times a week in 1864. The advent of a rail link in the 1870s made daily postal conveyance possible. Timaru's first dedicated post office opened in 1862 on George Street. There you are. I've found the man himself. Here he is. Are you Mr. Bennett?
I am certainly, my friends. Only one of me.
Ray Bennett.
So you only want one of
Did you used to be the mayor of Timaru?
I did, yes.
God. You've held your age well. Now listen, you know all about these stamps and postage and stuff.
Yes. Well,
Tell us.
I think I know a bit about it.
You know a bit about
First
it?
of all, you've got the earliest letter I've got is 1418.
Is that right?
1418, and you'll see in the centre of it a little wee hole.
Right.
Now, it was done, they used to put string top and bottom and the sides, and get all the string together and put the sealing wax at the back of it, and then fold it over and put the sealing wax on. And if you look on this next one, 1486, you see the actual string is there.
Right.
And you can see the marks on the letter itself where the string actually tied tight.
Okay.
That's 1418. We're using the spelling here. It's in the letter. And this one is Syria, Aleppo, Tripoli.
Right.
Now here, we're looking at not the earliest letter known in private hands, but an express letter. I've got the earliest one. It's not here, but it's a few years earlier than this. But this letter went from Vigevano in Italy to Milano. And it was an express letter. And there you have Cito.
Right.
In other words, was speed.
Okay.
And it was received at the 13th hour, X1Y. That's 13.
Right.
And it was received, it was posted at that hour,
Yes.
received at the 16th hour.
Right.
And they changed the horse, go like the wind,
Yeah.
changed the horse at Pavia.
Right.
And that is a stirrup.
Right.
And that says change the horse.
Go on.
That's how it got so fast.
Fantastic.
Now, here we've got...
Just have a breather here, Ray, just a minute.
Okay, yes, sure.
Righto, Ray. Now what have we got here?
This was sent with a parcel of cotton
Right.
from north of Italy, from Milano, and it went to Switzerland, to a place what we now call Chur, but it really was Cora in those days.
Yes.
And this went on the Bremer Pass.
Yes.
And it's very clear, you either get the parcel in 5 days, or I won't pay you any money for deliver it.
That's right.
So you didn't have much option in the matter.
Yeah.
Now, here we have a letter to London prior to the Great Fire.
Right.
Now, you all know that there's not much letters around addressed to London because they're all destroyed on the fire.
Right.
But I've got a lot of what there's not much around.
Is that right?
You know what I'm saying? So that one is Florence to London, and in the centre here we've got one to Pavia. This one is 1660. Now the important thing here is the red mark.
Right.
This is the earliest lot of indication that the mail was prepaid.
Okay.
There's 11 of them found in London, and I bought the whole 11. And I have a whole series of this particular type of thing where they have the earliest known markings, particularly figure markings, on letters to show they were fully paid.
Fantastic, Ray.
In the centre here, we've got this one, which is 1660. Notice how they've written the figures 12, I2.
Yes.
You see how they've written 1660, I660.
Yes.
And here we have a letter from Amsterdam to Venetia. This is 1750. Prepaid, getting into the mail situation, because in those days we were going back on couriers and things like that. Now we're starting to get into a postal service.
Okay. Ray, what's this big map here?
This is a map of all the coach routes at the start of the 19th century, in 1800 in other words.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's all handmade, by the way. It was made by the surveyors of the post office in London. It was... I bought the material from a man named Charles Clear. He died, and he written a book on Palmer, who started the stagecoach system. And I was able to get this one, which is all the mail coach routes. And of course, you'll see here, you'll see towns which now no longer exist, and others which were villages are now big metropolises.
Mm.
And of course, you'll see at the bottom here the different coaches that ran, how many miles they took, what speed they went, and what towns they went through. This is only part of the material I got. I bought this at auction in London.
Fantastic, Ray.
And when you speak of a stagecoach, you're speaking of a stage between two posts.
Right.
The post was where you changed the horses, and the stage was 8 miles. So a stagecoach was roughly 8 miles at a stage.
Right.
And the post was, in fact, the changing the post horses. It was called the post. Now we call it the post to deliver the mail, but this was, in those days, the post itself.
Right. Fantastic. My daughter is a postie. She delivers the post.
That's right.
On the mail. And when she applied for the job, they said to her, how do you feel when it's raining and snowing and you don't want to go out? And she said, the mail has to go through.
That's exactly.
And that's what got her the job.
Well, in the old days, it wasn't quite so much the mail going through, because before we had stagecoaches, they had usually a broken down horse and a broken down postboy taking the mail through, and it was a lot of delays, a lot of problems with it. Once they got on the coaches, however, you can see by the routes covered, they cover the whole of Great Britain.
Right. Fantastic, Ray. You got a ball of knowledge here. The world's first stamp. What's this all about, Ray?
Yeah, well, these were, you see, when we came into penny postage, they weren't sure whether they were going to have stamps or envelopes, paid envelopes, or, shall we say, letter sheets. They weren't sure. So stamps were one part of it. And these are the first stamps. These are the penny black and the tuppenny blue. They were the first stamps in the world.
Right.
They're not actually the first stamps, but they were the first time.
They were the first world stamps.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
But this is from Littleton, and you don't know it yet because you haven't got the address, but this is to Hokitika. And this is by overland mail over the Atira Gorge.
Right.
That was the important thing in this one. Atira Gorge started the mail service in 1865, and this is March 67.
Yes.
The overland mail refers to taking across by coach
Yes.
over the gorge. It took about 3 days to get there.
Yeah.
Only went twice a week.
Is that right? Well, how'd you think of that? Was that interesting? Listen, I want to tell you a little bit about Ray Bennett. Ray Bennett is one of the town's characters. He's enthusiastic. He's really keen on history stuff, keeping history, and he's one of the town's greatest assets. He's a walking encyclopedia. That's what he is. He was the mayor of Timaru for a while, and he was also the manager of the local newspaper here, the Timaru Herald. He was on the council for several years, And a lot of people didn't agree with what he was on about, but he's a real good guy, a real nice fella. Never got married, but yeah, when Ray Bennett dies, I don't know what's going to happen to the history of Timaru. There you are. I don't know. So we've got to save some of these things. We've got to save the Hydro Grand Hotel. We've got to save some of these buildings they're talking about pulling down. Okay, just for Ray, because Ray's really enthusiast on history of Timaru. And I'll go and see him again and he'll show me some buildings and stuff. Don't you worry. We'll get more information out of Ray before he dies. Okay? Thanks, Ray. You're a good guy.